Today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be talking on a very exciting subject. We're going to talk about breaking down, kicking down the barriers so you can expose your potential to the maximum. Does everybody want to be successful? If you want to be successful, wave your hands to me. Let's go. Come on. Who wants to be successful? Let's go. Everybody wave your hands. I want to see people waving their hands right, left, and center. Come on. Very good. Excellent. 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 Let me welcome my co-host and administrator for today's session, Miss Anu. Could everybody give Miss Anu a big wave? Let's go. Everyone. Come on, wave. Show me your wave. Hello. Everybody wave to Miss Anu. Let's go. Very good. Thank you, Miss Anu. Welcome to today's session. Everybody's happy. Wow. Okay, it's good to see you all. Please mute your microphone when I'm speaking. Otherwise, I'll remove you from my session. All right? Please mute your microphone. Mute your microphone. Otherwise, I'll remove you from this session. Ladies and gentlemen, today is going to be a very intensive session. There's two rules you have to follow. You are required to have your camera switched on in order to ensure that your attendance is recorded. Otherwise, you will not receive a certificate. If you choose to switch off your camera, you may not receive a certificate. There is no guarantee. The only way to guarantee a certificate is that your camera must be switched on. If you are at work and you cannot switch on your camera, you must put a message in the chat box. We will note you're at work. However, sending you a certificate will be subject to us confirming your attendance. Ladies and gentlemen, the only way you can actually confirm that you're going to get a certificate for sure is to switch on your camera. Okay, please, if you're at work, send me a message. We'll take that into consideration. However, to get a certificate, the only way to guarantee it is to switch on your camera right now so we can record attendance. If it's not switched on right now for attendance and your camera is not switched on, there is no guarantee of a certificate. Please let me know if you're at work by putting a message in the chat box. A very good afternoon to everyone. Thank you. All right. I am about to start recording attendance on the count of 3. If you want your attendance to be recorded for sure, and you want to make absolutely sure that you get a certificate, on the count of 3, cameras must be on for everyone. This is your last request. Okay, cameras must be on for everyone on the count of 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Very good. Keep your cameras on if you want to ensure that you get a certificate. Cameras must be on. Everybody keep their camera on, please. Please stop sending me messages while I'm recording attendance because I will not read them. Wait till I've finished recording attendance. One moment, please. Please do not talk while I'm talking. Mute your microphone, otherwise I'll remove you from the session. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I have recorded attendance. As stated, if you are working, you're welcome to send me a message in the chat box and we'll take that into consideration. The only way to ensure you get a certificate is to switch on your camera during attendance. Ladies and gentlemen, let me start today's session by actually going through what we're talking about. And let's talk about the importance of it. You all said to me earlier that you want to be successful. Okay, wave to me again if you want to be successful. Wave to me if you want to be successful. Come on, Islam, get your hand up. Come on. You want to be successful, Islam? Show me your hand. Don't go to sleep on me. Very good. So being successful, everybody desires to be successful. Everybody chooses to be successful. Everybody thinks they are successful. But success is not something that people fail to achieve because they don't want to be successful. People fail to be successful because they fail to understand the recipe for success. The recipe for success is critical in being able to achieve success. Success is not something you achieve unless you know the recipe. It's the same when you bake a chocolate cake, ladies and gentlemen. It's the same when you bake a chocolate cake. When you bake a chocolate cake, you need to know the recipe for the chocolate cake. Please mute your microphone. This is your second warning, or I'll remove you from the session. Okay, all right. So I said, as I said, basically before we got interrupted, what we need to remember is people do not fail because they want to fail. They fail because they don't have the skills or understands the skill to be successful. Everybody wants to be successful. Everybody chooses to think that they're successful, but in reality, they're not because they don't know the core element of success. They don't know the basic ingredients of success. And those basic ingredients are usually barriers or roadblocks that people need to knock down. Now, does everybody know what we mean by kick down or knock down? Who can tell me what does the word kick down mean? Can anyone tell me? Who can tell me? Islam, what does it mean to kick down a barrier, Islam? How about you talk to me, Islam? Islam, what does it mean to kick down a barrier? Are you there, Mr. Islam?
Yes, you're asking me?
Hi. What does it mean when I say kick down the barrier? What does it mean?
Sorry, sir, I have no idea.
No, you do have an idea. Listen to me, you're a student. I'm trying to help you. If you go somewhere and the door is closed, how do you get in? You have to open the door, right? Yes or no?
I I have to know. I
If you want to
mean,
go into a room, you must open the door, correct? And if you don't
yes, sir.
have the key, the only way to get in is to kick down the door or break down the door. Would you agree with me?
Yes, sir, agree.
Yes or no? So
Yes,
when you
right.
want to achieve success and you reach obstacles, for you to be successful, you have to be able to break down those obstacles. Do you understand that, Islam?
Yes, sir, understand.
Good on you. Islam, part of this talk is that you need to ask when you don't understand. I'm a teaching trainer. I'm an academic. So when I ask you a question, don't say I don't know. Say, tell me, please explain to me, all right? Because I'm here
Noted,
to
sir.
teach, all right, Islam? Don't be shy.
Noted.
It's my pleasure to teach you, all right, mate? Good on you,
All right.
Islam. I'll
Yes.
talk to you later. Thanks, mate. All right, good. Who else can tell me what does it mean to you to kick down barriers? Who else can tell me? Let's talk to who am I going to talk to first? Let me find a name here. Okay, Marika, what does it mean to kick down barriers? Marika, go ahead. Are you there, Marika? What, what does it mean to kick down barriers?
Overcoming obstacles.
Okay, very good, very good. So to kick down barriers, it's like if you have a boyfriend who doesn't care about you, you get rid of him. You kick him out, you find a new one, right? It's the same as kicking down barriers, literally. Does everybody understand that? So when you face a problem in success, you have to find a way to navigate through that problem or find an alternative to solve that problem. Do we all understand that? Yes or no? Wave your hands. I want everybody waving your hands. There's going to be a lot of waving today. All right. Does everybody understand that? Thank you, Marika. Marisa. Okay, let's go down to Jessica. Are you there, Jessica? Tell me, Jessica, what does the kick down barriers mean to you, Jessica? Jessica Carulo, are you there? Say hello to me, young lady. Open your microphone. Come on, Jessica. You need to participate, Jessica. I can't hear you. Your microphone is muted. Hold on. Unmute your microphone. Hi, Jessica. Are you there? I can't hear you. Speak up. Okay, I can't hear you, Jessica. I'm sorry. I can't hear you. Can everybody hear me here? Very good. Excellent. Okay, Jessica, I can't hear you. Could you fix your microphone? All right, thank you. All right, let's talk to somebody else. Let's talk to Mo A. Mo A, can you unmute your microphone? Tell me what it means to you. Go ahead, Mo A. Are you there, Mo A? Mo A, you need to switch on your camera and participate. I need to see your real camera, not a picture, Mo A, otherwise no certificate. Are you there, Miss Mo A? All right, okay, let's go to somebody else. Jennifer, hi Jennifer, where are you? Are you there, Jennifer? Okay, all right, guys, you really need to participate. Okay. Okay, who have I got here? Angelia. Hi, Angelia. You want to unmute your microphone? Angelia, tell me, what does kicking down barriers mean to you? Are you there, Angelita? Hi, Angelita. Are you there, Angelita? All right, Joshua. Are you there, Joshua? All the ladies seem to be half asleep today. Hi, Joshua. How are you? Tell me, what does it mean to kick down barriers, Joshua?
Hey, good afternoon. For me to kick down barriers, like removing the hindrances in your life.
Very good, Joshua. Excellent. It's really important, Joshua, to actually be able to overcome barriers. It's very important, guys, to switch on your camera because if you don't, there's no guarantee of a certificate. Okay, so let's go on. So let me share with you my slides, guys, and let's start today's lesson. Here we go. Give me a moment, please. Okay, all right. Let me share my material and let's start today's session. All right. Everybody can see my material. Wave your hand, Joshua, if you can see my slides. Very good from everyone. Okay, let's start today's lesson and let's talk about what does it mean and how to kick down boundaries and unlock your hidden potential. Because whether you like it or not, everybody has potential. Every single one of you, even though you don't know it, has potential. Everybody has potential. Okay, Steve Jobs was one man that everybody knows, right? Everybody knows Steve Jobs, yes or no? Everybody knows Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs graduated from Brown's College in the United States of America. He was top of his class. He started a company called Apple. 2 years after he started it, 2 years after, the board of directors that he employed fired him and told him he wasn't good enough. Steve Jobs did not give up. He fought to overcome the barriers and he was able to bring out his potential. He said, technology is nothing. What's important is that you have a faith in people. Yes, he said you must have a faith in people, that they're basically good and smart. And if you give them tools, they'll do wonderful things with them. Steve Jobs, after he was fired, set up 2 companies, 3 companies, and in total 4 companies. In those 4 companies within 2 years, him and his mates, Wozza and Tim Cook, actually developed technology that Apple uses today. After 2 years, Apple came to Steve Jobs and said, please come back. He said, you want me back? You buy me. You buy me and my 4 companies. Steve Jobs went back to Apple and made Apple one of the greatest companies in history. Apple is one of the greatest technology businesses that have ever been created, and it's unlikely that anybody else will surpass Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs was able to break down barriers and unleash his potential on the world of mobile phones. He was the guy behind the first smartphone in the world. There was BlackBerry, there was Nokia, there was Motorola. Were they really smartphones? No. Steve Jobs brought out the real smartphone in its first essence. And now, of course, it's gone from the 5C, 6C, 7C, up to the iPhone 16, coming 17 in a few months' time. That is what you call unleashing one's potential. So when we talk about potential and we talk about achieving your potential for success, it is really critical, ladies and gentlemen, that you must first understand what is success? What is success? Success is the achievement of a desired goal. Success is about you being able to realize something you're working towards. It's you being able to be remembered one day as having achieved something, not by your mother and father and closest friends, but by the world at large. Steve Jobs wasn't only remembered by his mother and father. He wasn't only remembered by the some 20,000 employees at Apple Corp, Apple Inc., as it's known now. He's remembered by the world at large for being one of the greatest techno entrepreneurs that ever lived in the 20th and 21st century. Ladies and gentlemen, he was by all right the only man who created the smartphone and one of the smartest and best performing laptops and desktops with some of the highest graphic resolution and most powerful motherboards on the market. Steve Jobs was Apple. Steve Jobs built Apple because he had what it took to drive businesses and break down the barriers. It is a positive consequence of one's contribution and achievement that is success. Success is not measured by you. Success is measured by your peers and the world at large. So, success cannot be defined in one sentence. If your mother or father told you that success is being rich, I hate to disagree with mum and dad. It's disrespectful. But success cannot be defined in one sentence, but instead, it comprises many elements. How many of you bake chocolate cakes? I know my co-host today bakes chocolate cakes. Is that right, Miss Anil? You bake chocolate cake? And Miss Anil will tell you if she forgets to put chocolate in the chocolate cake, it becomes vanilla cake. And probably her son will say, Mummy, I want chocolate cake. Right, Anu? Like my daughter, right? Very good. So success is the same thing. If you overlook one major ingredient, you fail success by true definition. The definition of success is relative and depends on the individual. One single definition may not resonate with all. Success is something that one has to define for oneself, and no one can do it for you. And that's why people fail, because they do not understand what success is and cannot accept the definition of success. Success is not about making money. Success is not about owning your own house. Success is not about making your mother and father proud of you. Success is about making the world remember who you are. Success is about building a multi-million-dollar corporation. Success is about building a business that will be able to support you and your family, and for you to be able to live a lifestyle that you deserve, not a lifestyle that you live in poverty. That is success. Success means being able to achieve goals and being able to build on those goals to take your dream to meet the goals you've set, the vision you've set. The first step towards achieving this success is defining what you expect to be successful. You have to set yourself goals and adjust your emotions to focus on the real meaning of success. Most of you here today don't know the real meaning of success. Whether you believe it or not, take it from me, most of you think you know what success is. The majority of you live in a world of dreams because most of you don't realize that to be successful, you need to maximize your potential. You need to take your effort where it is now and multiply it 25 times. What you're doing now, you're not successful, because if you were successful, you wouldn't be here today. If you were successful, you wouldn't be attending my session today. You'd be running your own business, making millions of dollars. All of you are here today is because you want to become successful in the future. And this lesson will go towards teaching you how to do that. Does everybody understand what I'm saying? Yes or no? Wave your hands to me. Come on, everyone. I want to see hands waving. Come on, everyone. Joshua, let's go. Thank you. All right. This man said, just hold on, guys. Somebody keeps putting their. So one man said, and this man had the right to say this. He's one of the most successful businessmen in the world. If you carefully consider what you want to be said of you in the funeral experience, you will find your definition of success. So what he said is, when you die, if you want people to remember you, that's when you're successful. If people don't remember and show that they're sad about your passing, then you were never successful. And that's the fact of life. When Steve Jobs died, probably 6 or 7 million people left flowers outside ice shops, ice stores all over the world. And 6 or 7 million people may be an exaggeration. In China, the population is 119 million, 1.19 billion. And there is probably more Apple shops in China than in any other part of the world. And they were all flabbergasted with wreaths and flowers and memories of Steve Jobs. That is a man who was respected for being successful. So today, I'm going to teach you steps which will help you to ensure that you are successful in your own right. So, what better place to find one's definition of success than at one's own funeral? The life of one is living today is the legacy of one leaves behind. It is one's current legacy. If one's current legacy is not the one he wants to leave, one can change it today. But if you don't change it today, then forever you will go down as having failed or tried hard but never learned true success. Understanding your boundaries helps you identify areas where you may be limiting yourself or being held back. By recognizing and addressing these boundaries, you can begin to break free and unlock your potential. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Can everybody wave their hands if they understand it? Come on, I want to see 370 people wave their hands. Let's go. Everyone. Come on, Islam. Very good, guys. Very good. So let's talk about these boundaries. There are two types of boundaries that we face in our business or professional careers. Number one, internal boundaries. These are boundaries that we set with and for ourselves with our well-being in mind. Number two, there is external boundaries, which I'll tell you about shortly. If external boundaries are where we hang up against other people's limits, internal boundaries can be said to be where we bump up against our values, morals, personal capacity, and identity. So internal boundaries are where you must push yourself to the limit. You must never say, this is enough. You must exert yourself beyond what you think is reasonable. Because if you tell yourself that this is enough, then you are limiting or creating boundaries. Does everybody understand that? Never say enough. Never. Always say, I want more. I need to do more. I need to be more involved. I need to spend more time at what I do best. I need to remember I have to make money to support my family. Without me pushing myself to the limits, I cannot support my family. Supporting your family is not about making $400 or $300 or $200 a month, guys. It's about going above the poverty line in which some of you live today. It's about making $2,000, $3,000 or $50,000 a month. That is success. Let's talk about internal boundaries. Number one, self-imposed limitation. You tell yourself you're tired. You tell yourself, it's not working for me. Why should I waste my time? Thought patterns. You limit the way you think. You make assumptions and you build yourself attitudes that hold you back because you do not listen to others and you are so narrow-minded that deep at heart you don't want to be successful. That's why you fail. Emotional boundaries. You fail to manage your emotions. You let your inner self be controlled by your wife, your girlfriend, or your parents. That is the biggest mistake in success. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Yes or no? Everybody wave their hands now. Everybody. Joshua, where's your hand? Moe Tanda, where's your hand? I want to see all hands. 397 hands. Not your electronic hand. I want to see you wave your hand. Switch on your cameras now. Otherwise, no certificates are guaranteed. No camera, no guarantee of certificate. All right, so does everybody understand this? Yes or no? Maria, wave your hand. Maria, wave your hand to me, Maria. Very good, Maria. Do you understand what I'm talking about, Maria? Do you understand about being successful? Maria? Do you understand what I'm explaining, Maria? Mayra, do you understand, Mayra? Yes or no? Show me your hand. Do you understand? Wave your hand, Mayra. Mayra, do you understand what you're learning? You need to switch on your camera, Mayra. If you switch it off, you will not get a certificate. Switch on your camera and keep it switched on. Thank you. All right. So everybody, focus on what you're learning and don't be shy to ask questions, because if you ask questions, you will learn. If you don't ask questions, you will forever be a failure. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Does everybody understand what I mean? So don't be shy. Don't be shy to switch on your camera and talk. You're here to learn. You're not here to be a model. Lassie Morales, do you understand what I'm saying, Lassie? Can you wave your hand? Very good, Lassie. Thank you. Pan A few. Do you understand what I'm saying, young lady? Very good. Excellent. Okay. All right. Darlene, do you understand what I'm saying, Darlene? Darlene, wave your hand to me. Very good, Darlene. All right, so let's go on. So internal limitations or internal boundaries, ladies and gentlemen, are self-imposed. They're things you put on yourself. And internal boundaries are things you can change. They are definitely things you can change simply by not allowing yourself to be limited or controlled by anything. Let your success control your effort. The more hungry you are for success, the more effort you should put in. Never say no. You need to think out of the box. You need to always ask yourself, why am I not making more? What is it I can do to be more successful? Never accept your status quo today as success. Do not let your mother, your father, your sister, your grandmother, your grandfather, your first, second, third, or fourth boyfriend, or first husband or second husband, or as many as you have, ever control your emotions or stop you from exerting yourself to achieve success. Always focus on your aim, your objective of being successful, whether you want to be successful in your career or whether you want to be successful running your own company. Does everybody understand that? Can you wave your hands to me? Everyone, please. Let me see all your hands going across. Come on, everyone. Thank you. Sherry, I don't see any hands. A Monte Tai, I don't see any hands. That means you're not in the lesson. All right. If I don't see your hands wave, I will treat you as not here. No guarantee you'll get a certificate. Okay, let's keep going. All right, Jennifer, do you hear what I'm saying, Jennifer? Do you understand what I've explained? Wave your hand to me, mate. Good on you, Jennifer. Great, excellent. So we all understand what internal boundaries are. Now let's go to external boundaries. External boundaries are boundaries we set regarding how we allow others to treat us. And some people cannot deal with the external boundaries because they let their emotion control their internal boundaries. Being able to control your emotions is having an open mindset and being able to accept criticism. External boundaries are often never thought about until they are challenged by somebody behaving in a way that makes us uncomfortable. Intentional thought about creating and settled external boundaries can benefit us and the people we are in relationships with. So if we can admit that sometimes we're not prepared to listen to others, sometimes we don't like to be told we are wrong or that we're a failure, then we need to change. We need to be open to failing. Failure, the more you fail, the more successful you will become. Remember, people don't choose to fail. People fail to understand what is required to be successful. They fail to understand what it takes to stop them from failing. And the only way you can do that is to understand and admit that you suffer from this and start being open to criticism. Start opening to external criticism. Whether you take it from colleagues, people in the industry you want to start a business in, be open to feedback, even if they tell you that what you're doing is wrong. Take their advice, listen to them, and then make a decision. Because otherwise, you're not actually understanding the external boundaries which are stopping you from being successful. Do you understand that, everyone? Because your peers, people in the industry, might know more than you and your parents know about the business or the job you're doing. Does everybody understand what I mean by that? Yes or no? Okay. Godfredo, do you understand what I just said, Godfredo? Because I saw you talking. Do you understand? What are external boundaries? External boundaries include social relationships, social norms, and expectations from others. You need to actually open to social boundaries. Do not dictate your social boundaries. Let the external world tell you who is in your social boundary. Be open to be friends and talk to anyone who wants to talk to you. Put yourself on LinkedIn and build a professional network. Environmental boundaries, physical environment, resources, and external circumstances. These are things that you need to control. You need to be able to adapt to all external boundaries and let yourself be seen in many markets and beyond your own market and your own home city or your own group of friends. Don't be afraid to open a new boundary. Don't be afraid to go into boundaries that you haven't stepped into before. Cultural boundaries, cultural norms, values, and expectations that shape your behavior. I understand that some of you are vegetarian, some of you are Muslims, some of you are Christians, some of you are atheists, some of you belong to the Orthodox Church, some of you belong to the Catholic Church, some of you belong to the Baptist Church. That's okay, because they all believe in God. So you need to stop setting yourself boundaries and be prepared to deal with all cultures. You need to prepare to do business in any way, shape, or form, regardless of a different culture, different belief, or different country, providing you're open to making it happen and being successful. Warren Buffett, one of the most incredible and most successful billionaires in the world today, said, I measure success by how many people love me. Warren Buffett. Ladies and gentlemen, Warren Buffett is a multi-billionaire, close to be a trillionaire. Warren Buffett believes that the more people you know, the more people you interact with through LinkedIn, social media, or business platforms, the more success and the more intelligence you earn or learn from these people about your business or the environment that you live in. Warren Buffett is an entrepreneur. He is a multi-billion-dollar capital entrepreneur who actually capitalizes on putting money into businesses, taking them just from small businesses to multi-billion-dollar businesses, and then selling them off. Warren Buffett makes money by buying businesses, investing in them, rebuilding the business models, and then either dismantling them and selling them off or selling them off as a whole. Warren Buffett has made his career through his external boundaries because he was prepared to open his external boundaries. It's made him a billionaire. All right, let's look at this chart to simplify what I mean by internal and external boundaries. Let's break it down into bits, bits, little bits of the biscuit, little bits of the pizza. One, you need to know how far you can push yourself and never stop. You need to know your capacity and you need to respect it. If your mind is telling you you need to work harder, you shouldn't say, I'm tired tomorrow. You should say, yes, sir, I need to work harder. You need to be able to take responsibility for what's yours. What's yours? What is yours? The business you're trying to build and the reputation you're going to leave behind after you die. You want people to remember you. You need to work harder now so that they'll remember you as a success. Or otherwise, if you don't want to be successful, you want to become famous for being one of the world's most hated or convicted criminals, that's another way to become successful. All right, so if you want to be successful in business and you want people to be talking about you at your funeral one day and telling the world how good you were, you need to start doing it now. You need to take your finger out of your bag or out of your pockets, and you need to get busy. You need to be curious. You need to have a sense of curiosity. You need to be interested in developing things and being creative on how you can improve the world through your business or through your job. If you're not hungry for change, if you're not hungry for new ideas, you can never go beyond your internal boundaries. Those outside boundaries, let's talk about those outside roadblocks that people face. People are too afraid to communicate. They're too afraid to talk and listen to what others say. They set too many boundaries on their time. There should be no boundaries on your time when you want to be successful. Time should be of the essence. Your first priority should be success. Time should be something that just goes along with how much time you need to spend pushing your success. Acknowledging when we've messed up. A lot of you never admit to failure. A lot of you refuse to admit to failure. And the longer you do that, the longer you will be a failure. And that's a promise, Siran. That's a promise, Nizal. That's a promise, Asa. The longer you refuse to acknowledge that you have difficulties accepting your failure or being told that you'll fail, you will never move from failure to success. Because the quicker you accept failure and learn how to remedy it, the quicker you will be more successful. Every failure will lead to success. The harder you fail, the more successful you become. That is a fact. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Wave your hands, everybody, please. Wave your hands, please. Come on. One, wave your hand, please. One, Nanjing, wave your hand. Okay. Un Nan, can you wave your hand so I know you're listening? Okay, you've moved your hand. Understand. Thank you. All right. So remember, ladies and gentlemen, inside, outside, internal, external. All right. So what do we mean by kicking down barriers? What do we mean by that? What is a simple interpretation of kicking down? Kicking down boundaries and barriers involves you overcoming your gold brick, this barrier or fence that you keep saying you want to hide behind, your laziness, because you're lazy and you always put your hands in your pocket and your fingers in your pocket and rely on other people to help you, and your sluggishness, because you believe that there's always tomorrow and nothing is important. If you don't change this gold bricking, laziness, procrastination, and sluggishness attitude, you will forever be unable to kick down the barriers. Ladies procrastinate all the time. Every time they go to a shop, they look at a new pair of shoes. They say, I like it, but it's expensive. Let me try the shop next door. What does that mean? It's procrastination. Because by the time they go to one shop, to the second shop, third shop, fourth shop, then they go back to the first shop has already sold out. That's a fact of life. It's like your boyfriend. If your boyfriend has you as a girlfriend for 5 years and he doesn't propose to you to marry you, probably you'll get sick of him and find a new boyfriend. because your mother and father keep asking you, well, when are you going to get married, young lady? What's the use of having a boyfriend who doesn't want to marry you? Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Put your hands up. Put your hands up. Let's go. Everybody, put your hands up. Please concentrate on the lesson and put your hands up. Thank you. Thank you, Salvarico. Thank you, Rochelle. Thank you. All right. So does everybody understand what I mean by knocking down or kicking down? It's by pushing down any barrier that comes up and being able to overcome that. Kicking down your barriers is about you having the guts and determination to communicate your needs clearly with family, friends, partners, and work colleagues at large. Professional circle, LinkedIn, could be considered industry colleagues. Anybody you meet in your line of study or business could be considered work colleagues because they are in the industry or business that you are setting up or want to set up. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Okay, good, excellent. Let's go on. So if we talk about strategies for kicking down boundaries, they're very simple strategies. Number one is you building confidence in yourself and having what we call self-efficacy. That means where you are prepared to accept your mistakes and overcome them. Number two, by developing a growth mindset, which most of you only have partial, and by setting goals on paper and ensuring that you follow up on them. By embracing failure and learning from your setbacks. And by creating a support network and seeking mentorship. By taking calculated risks and stepping out of your comfort zone. What does stepping out of your comfort zone mean, Rochelle? Can you tell me? Rochelle, what does stepping out of your comfort zone mean? Can anyone tell me? What does stepping out of your comfort zone mean? Can anyone tell me? What does stepping out of your comfort zone mean, Rochelle? Dayid? Are you there, Rochelle? Can you unmute your microphone, Rochelle? Rochelle, unmute your microphone, Rochelle. Rochelle, Dayid, unmute your microphone, please, Rochelle. Rochelle, tell me.
Yes, sir. Do you hear
Do
me,
you
sir?
understand? Do you understand what I mean by kicking down boundaries? Do you understand what I mean by having self-confidence and being able to learn from your mistakes?
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you understand what I mean by developing your own growth mindset? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
All right. A growth mindset, young lady, is being able to say, yes, how can I fix it? What should I do to grow my business? You should ever say no, never say no. Do you understand that, Michelle?
Yeah.
Yes or no?
Yes, sir, I understand it.
Okay, don't be shy. If you don't understand, tell me. You need to set goals for yourself, and we're going to look at that shortly. You need to accept failure and embrace it, because accepting failure is part of self-efficacy. Okay? Part of self-efficacy is accepting failure. Being able to learn from your mistakes. The more you learn, the more successful you become. You need to have a network of support and people in the industry or people who can give you advice, mentorship. That is a must. But a lot of you don't allow it because you want to, some reason, are scared, embarrassed, or protecting yourself. you'll never be successful if you do that. To be successful, you must take risks. And last but not least, taking calculated risks and stepping out of your comfort zone. All of these are critical. But number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 6 are more critical than the others. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand what I just said? Does everybody understand what I just said? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Okay. Just one moment, please. Just hold on. Just hold on. We've lost the slide here. Okay, so as I said, it's about building confidence and self-efficacy. It's about developing a growth mindset, open to grow, hungry for success. It's about setting yourself goals by embracing failure and learning from your setbacks, by having a level of confidence and self-efficacy, by creating a support network and seeking mentorship, by not building yourself external boundaries and letting your external boundaries down and letting your social network grow, and by taking calculated risks and stepping out of your comfort zone. Stop living in the box you grew up in. It's time that you step into the real world. No individual plans to fail, but he or she fails to plan how to be successful. Does everybody understand that? Wave your hands, please. Wave your hands. Pan A, Rube, Rodlin, wave your hands. I can't see hands being waved. Siriam, wave your hand. Siriam. Come on. Ria. Duke Trump, wave your hand. Maricel, wave your hand. Everybody wave their hands. Let's go. Very good. Excellent. All right. Let's go on to the next part. Let's talk about one's success. What is one's success? What do we define as success today, and why is it that way? Success is going from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm. Success is about learning more from each mistake. The more mistakes, the more successfully you grow. Winston Churchill. Success isn't about how much money you make. It's about the difference you make in people's lives and what people say about you after you die. Barack Obama, former president of the United States of America. I failed over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed. Michael Jordan, one of the most successful basketball players in the world. Does everybody understand now what we mean by success? Can everybody wave their hands if they understand? Come on. Un, you understand what success is, Un? Anne-Marie, do you understand what success is, Anne-Marie? Can you wave your hand to me? Very good, Anne-Marie. All right, let's go on, guys. Okay. The starting point in contributing to your success and kicking down barriers to build your potential or open your potential starts by setting goals. You need to contribute to your success. And the first element of your contribution is setting the goals, regardless of how difficult the circumstances are. If you can't get over that point, you'll never be successful. Human will is stronger than anything in this world. Learning is not only a means to get a job, Learning is much more than that. It strengthens one's self-confidence and enhances one's self-awareness and culture. So don't ever be afraid to learn from your mistakes, because the more you learn, the more goals you will set, and the better you will improve, and the quicker you will start your own business. Does everybody understand what I mean by contributing? Yes or no? Can you wave your hands? Gina, Ruby, where are you? Are you in class or have you gone to sleep? I need to see you. Please look at the camera, Gina. Wave your hand. You need to look at the camera, Gina. If I'm going to give you a certificate, you need to focus on the lesson. Otherwise, why am I giving you a certificate? Focus on the lesson. Okay, let's. Does everybody understand what I just said? Yes or no? Goals. What are and aren't goals? What are they? Goals are your vision. They're your dream for the future. Everybody has goals. Most of the girls here have goals to get married. Most of the girls here already have a boyfriend, and their goal is to get engaged and get married sooner than later. Everybody needs to have their personal vision and personal goal statement. The other thing about goals is they have to be focused against a timeline. It's no point saying, I want to be a millionaire and saying one day. You need to set yourself a timeline and review that on a regular basis. The most effective goals are time-bound goals. Goals generally have a longer time frame. They can then be broken down into smaller short-term objectives if needed. So, what are they? What do goals really mean? I mean, here it says a goal is your vision for the future. So what is a goal really? A goal is large in nature. Don't be afraid to set a big goal that seems like a reach. Feel free to think outside the box and dream big. You can set smaller short-term goals to help you get there and achieve your big goal. Without a goal, you'll forever be what you are today. Your income will never increase. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Wave your hands. Do you understand what I just said, Elvira? Very good. Yes or no? If it's yes, show me your thumbs up. Thank you. So, the bigger the goal, the more motivated you will be to achieve it. Don't be afraid to set big goals. It's okay to have big goals, because the more you learn, the more successful you'll be. The harder you fail, the more successful you will be, because you go back and relearn. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Wave your hands if you understand, everyone. Come on. Very good. A goal is not an objective, even though goals describe what one wants to achieve. Objectives are the steps taken to reach the goal. What we want is a goal which is a statement saying who you are and what this business wants to achieve. We want to be $1 million business selling T-shirts in 5 years. You need to be specific. An objective, even though goals describe what one wants to achieve, objectives are the steps taken to reach out or to reach the goal. A goal is not an objective. Example, I want to become a confident public speaker as a goal. I will work with a coach to practice my public speaking skills by the end of this month is the objective. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Come on, guys. You understand it, Elvira? Yes or no? Very good. Okay. So remember, you need to be able to set goals. You need to understand your objectives and set the goal. A resolution. Resolutions are often temporary. You gave yourself a dream or resolution that you're going to do it next year in 2025. Giving short-term gratification as opposed to delayed gratification, while a resolution is a decisive to do not do something, a goal is what one wants to achieve. So, if we look at it this way, if you set yourself a resolution to be successful, okay, it's a resolution, but that resolution will only become real or unfold in reality once that becomes the goal. It needs to be passed down. A mission statement creates a clear and focused direction to follow. It's the statement of purpose from which company, business, or individuals operate. A goal is a specific aim, one or one's team work abroad. It's critical that for you to understand the difference between a goal and a mission statement. Students need to show that their goals are to be successful. Generic aim. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? You all understand? You wave your hands? Very good, excellent. Okay, so number one, short-term goals. These are goals that can be achieved relatively quickly, typically within a few days. For example, the goal is to employ 20 salespeople. Quick goal. You go back to all the people that you've spoken to before, probably resumes, etc. You pull them out, you narrow them down to the one that was best or the two that were best, and you offer them the job. That would be a short-term goal. Number two, long-term goals. These are goals that require a more extended period to accomplish, usually spanning several months or years. Now, if you're in a long-term goal, you need to make sure that you're constantly getting reports and feedback on the progress of this goal so you can constantly update the system to show that these goals are being achieved. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Does everybody understand that? Do you understand that, Divi? Yes, Divi? Or no? Yes? Divi, do you understand that? Yes or no? Show me your hand if it's yes. Put your hand up. Thank you very much. All right, so personal goals. These are goals that relate to an individual's personal life, such as health insurance, relationships, and hobbies. Professional goals. These are goals that relate to an individual's career, such as job performance, promotions, and self-development. Does everybody here know what we mean by performance? Yes or no? Put your hand up if you don't know. Okay, good. So we've covered here number 1 and 2. Let's look at number 3. Personal goals. These are goals that relate to an individual's personal life, such as health, relationships, and hobbies. Number 4, restaurant professional goals. Well, not restaurant, just professional goals, okay? Professional goals. These are goals that relate to the individual's career, such as job performance, promotions, and skill development, which is something ongoing. Okay, and the last one is financial costs. These are goals related to an individual's financials, such as saving for a down payment for the house or the business, or paying off debt, or investing. Can everybody hear me? Good, excellent, okay. Or investing for retirement. Of course, if you want people to invest in your business, then basically you should be focused on professional goals, financial goals. Does everybody understand that? Can you wave your hands, please? Very good. Gina, I can't see you. Jennifer, I can't see you. Lamin, can you wave your hand, please? Marisetta, wave your hand, please. Okay, let's go on. Number 6, academic goals. These are goals which basically related to an individual's education, such as obtaining a degree, improving grades, or learning a new skill. So, if somebody has academic goals, they must be able to separate those from their personal goals of succeeding in business. Number 7, social goals. These are goals that relate to an individual's social life and how many people this individual has on WhatsApp or in LinkedIn and how many he or she communicates with. That is social network. Does everybody understand the slide so far? Can you wave your hand or raise your hand? Come on, everyone, wave your hand or raise your hand, please, now. Thank you. So let's look at this. Growth goal is to increase the size or scope of your company. Number 2, effectiveness of your team. Number 3, problem-solving goal. Address a problem within your structure, organization, or a problem that you've actually met boundaries in and have tried to overcome your boundaries. Remember, if you have internal boundaries and external boundaries, but keep your fingers in your pockets and don't make your brain work to overcome these boundaries, then you have a problem. And that means you have to set goals to solve those problems. Development goal. Develop new skills or expertise. Innovation goal. Create a new or improved product or service is a goal that you should be hungry for and are thinking of day in, day out if you want to go beyond the boundaries, especially external boundaries. You want people to remember you for who you are, what you developed. Profitability goals, sustainability goals, marketing goals, customer relation goals, and company culture goals. All these are very important goals that you need to set on paper before you try to be successful. Most of you should have these goals already. If you don't, you will have 2 or 3 days to prepare them and maybe send them to me as homework and I will check them. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Wave your hands if you understand. Wave your hands, please, everyone. Come on, guys, there's 300 plus students. I only have 20 hands being waved. Again, everybody wave their hands now. Very good, thank you. All right, does everybody understand what I mean by goals or barriers, roadblocks? Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Do you understand what that means, Elvira? Open your microphone, Elvira. Say hello to me. Don't be shy. Welcome back to BizTalk 128, Elvira. It's good to see you again, young lady. You're one student who's always here. Tell me, Elvira, do you understand why the importance of these goals becomes critical in being able to kick down your boundary? Do you understand that, Elvira? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that all these goals are important, Elvira? Do you agree that all these goals are important for you to kick down your barriers?
Yes, sir.
Can you give me a goal that you face every day that you can't kick down? Come on, Elvira, can you share with me a goal that you have been trying to resolve and cannot resolve? Because your goal is to collect all the documents from people, for example, and you can't collect them. Have you come back and said, why is it that I can't collect them? Why is it that I don't like talking to these people? Or why is it I can't communicate with these people? Do you ask yourself questions every day, Elvira, how you're going to become more successful? Elvira?
Yes, sir. I asked myself how to get successful.
Okay, but let me ask you, Elvira, when you ask yourself, do you always tell yourself what mistakes you made today? Okay, so when you make a mistake, do you actually admit that?
When I made a
When you make a mistake, are you afraid to tell anyone or do you learn from your mistake?
I learned to my mistake.
Very good, very good. So that, go ahead. Yes, go ahead. Continue, Elvira. What were you going to say? Very good. So what Elvira said goes for everyone, even for Un, who's covering his mouth instead of focusing on my lecture. Un, sit up straight, Un. Be excited, Un. Show me that you're happy. Smile for me, Un. Come on. Show me your great smile, Un. Show me your great smile, Elvira. Show Un how to smile, Elvira. Come on. Big smile, Elvira. Come on. You see that, Un? Show me your smile, Un. Elvira learns. She's here every week. I want you to smile. Come on, mate, big smile. On the count of three, on 1, 2, 3, smile. Are you there, on? On, 1, are you there? On none? Mr. On none, are you there? On, can you unmute your microphone? Unmute your microphone, on. Mr. On, can you unmute your microphone? On none, can you unmute your microphone? On none. Okay, let's keep going. All right, so remember, guys, that goals are very important. Goals are critical. Do you understand that, Jenny Rose? Can you wave your hand to me? Very good. So, growth goals, personal goals are critical. All the goals here are critical. There's not one that is more important than the other. They are all critical, and you should all know how to overcome these goals and make sure that there's no boundaries. Problem-solving goals, development goals, innovation goals, profitability goals, sustainability goals, marketing goals, customer relationship goals, and company culture goals. If you don't have the internal fire to keep driving at becoming more and more profitable, then you will not be able to exist or unleash your full potential. All right, long-term goals. Any business and organization should use long-term business goals to unify their vision and motivate themselves as business owners and workers to prioritize short-term goals. By actually achieving short-term goals, you will in the long run have achieved a long-term goal. So let's talk about a long-term goal. A long-term goal could be increasing total sales. Common goal for big companies. Increasing profitability goal is to increase sales. And up and coming software company might set a long-term goal of increasing their product sales by 75% over 2 years. Well, let me tell you, Amazon hoped to do a couple of $100 million a year. That was the dream by Jeff Bezos to become one of the world's most powerful e-commerce platforms. COVID-19 actually saw Amazon's revenue multiply by at least 25 times pre-COVID revenue. Amazon went from being $1 million company to a multi-million-dollar company thanks to COVID-19, because they were able to meet the needs of consumers and get goods delivered to consumers who were locked down and couldn't go out, where other e-commerce platforms couldn't do it. That's because Jeff Bezos was able to understand what the internal and external boundaries in his business were. And he was able to overcome them by setting up warehouses all over the world. So if you live in China, you don't have to wait till the shipping lines open in China and ship your parcel to China from the US. There would be a warehouse in China that could simply send your parcel by road or by train to a city in China. You don't have to wait for there to be a way to move those cargo from the US to China. During COVID-19, all Chinese shipping ports were closed. There was no container movement. Air flights became very, very limited. There was only a certain number of flights per day or per week, and only one of those carried cargo, because airlines couldn't find a reason to go to China because the factories in China were closed. There was a lockdown. But our friend Jeff Bezos saw it in himself, and he overcame external boundaries by making sure he took the business outside the US and created distribution warehouses around the world to overcome the boundary that stopped customers buying from Amazon during COVID-19. He unleashed his potential and broke down that boundary. People were given a delivery promise, 3 days, because he knew he had a warehouse close to where they live. He unleashed his potential. He built warehouses in different parts of the world, equipped them with robots and artificial intelligence. That is a long-term goal for Jeff Bezos back then. Increase employee retention is another long-term goal for big companies, whether it's Amazon, whether it's airline like Singapore Airlines. Increasing the retention of the people who work for them is a core requirement of them being able to continue and be successful. Because remember, ladies and gentlemen, in order to break down boundaries and push your potential to the limit, you need to make sure you have enough people who understand the business you're running or the business you are going to run in order for you to be able to drive it forward. If these people run away and go to work for someone else for a higher salary every day, you will never have a team confident in order to help you go beyond your external boundaries, because your external boundaries require you to open to more parts of the world and to more people, to more customers. But if you don't have the staff and the support to make that happen, then those external boundaries will never open. You need to develop a new technology that will allow you to reach more people. New technology now, e-commerce technology, social media, all of these things are opening doors for you to reach out to more potential customers all over the world. You are doing away with your external boundaries. You are crushing them and going to the next level of pushing your potential to becoming very, very successful. Growth business operations. Anybody who wants to unleash their potential has to be focused on growing their business operations. If you don't want to grow, then you're not unleashing your internal potential or internal willingness to work towards your goal, and you're not overcoming cultural or other limitations which you can overcome if you chose to overcome. If you can't overcome these and break down those barriers and kick them down, you will never be able to kick down the external barriers. They go hand in hand. Improving employee retention. Specific goal could be, I will improve the employee turnover in my business by 15% in 90 days by putting up training for the new employees to let them know what is expected of them and have a program for them to get used to operation systems. I will also have one-on-one meetings with employees so that I get to know what challenges they could be facing. That is specific. Now, let's make that measurable also, because your goal not only has to be specific, but it also has to be measurable. The improvement in employee turnover is scheduled to be by approximately 15% and should take place within 90 days. I don't like the words about. I would rather you say 15% or plus or minus 15%. But if you say plus or minus, then you're not motivated to achieve it. It's better to keep it to a range, 13 to 15%, for example. Okay, just hold on, guys. Where is this gone? Okay, attainable. Attainable. So we talked about specific, we spoke about measurable. Let's talk about attainable. Are trainings attainable? Yes. Trainings and one-to-one meetings will ensure that employees are prepared for what is expected of them when they get into production. It also gives them a hint of what's on their mind concerning general operations of the business. Is training attainable? Of course, because you are going to commit to break down your internal barriers and not limit your time, but put in as much effort as required to train these people and push them to their maximum potential to be more productive. Because the more productive they are, the more productive your success plan will become. Relevant. Outstanding employees will be put up for a reward system. For the ones that might be having a difficult time, there will be motivation trainings for encouragement. This is something that you have to set as part of your goals. And this is something you have to break down your internal boundary. You have to go beyond your internal boundary by not saying, I'm working hard enough. The amount of hard work you put in should be driven by how attainable, how relevant, and how much effort you have to put in to make your goals attainable and relevant. If you have to spend 2 days a week training people to ensure that your goal of retention is relevant, then you need to do it. That means you don't go out on Saturday, you train your staff. If making your goal relevant means meeting up with your staff on Sunday afternoon, doing one-to-one coaching rather than sitting at home watching TV, then that's what you do. This is part of letting down or kicking down your internal boundaries. You want to increase profits, a specific goal to increase profits. I will increase revenue while cutting down on expenditure, moving to a more affordable premise that will cut my rent by 7% and will reduce my operational costs. It's truly a goal. It's a goal, it's specific. But in order to achieve that, you must let down or kick down your internal boundaries and also your external boundaries by putting yourself on the market and talking to more people in the industry who may be able to help you to find more realistic rent or space and reduce your operational costs. Because if you just look on your own, you may never find it. Is it measurable? I will increase sales over the next 3 months by signing in 5 more potential clients. Measurable. But again, boundaries and external boundaries to make that happen. Is increasing profit attainable? Of course it is, providing you're prepared to kick down your internal boundaries and, most important, your external boundaries so that you can reach more potential customers. Relevant? Of course it's relevant. You make it relevant by being committed to kicking down your internal boundaries and external boundaries to ensuring more effort in making it happen and being involved in making it happen. Does everybody understand that? Do you understand that, Marites? Marites, do you understand that? Thank you. Ella Jean, do you understand that? Could you wave your hand, Ella Jean? Ella Jean, wave your hand. Thank you. So, is it time bound? Of course it's time bound. I will have increased my profit by the end of the coming 3 months. That will only happen if you kick down your internal boundaries of saying tomorrow and procrastinating. If you stop goal bricking and giving yourself excuses, as most of you do, hoping that gold will drop from the sky, it won't. You need to get your fingers out of your pockets and make an effort. So, the best long-term business goals are increase sales, build brand recognition, create a stellar reputation, a reputation that Steve Jobs had. Everybody remembered him. People left funeral wreaths by the millions around the world. His success was judged after he died. not before. But in order for that to happen, he had to continuously, day by day, break down boundaries to make sure that happened. But if you don't do that today, it will be too late once you're gone. Let me not upset anyone, but you know, we were all born to this earth and brought to this earth, and as God has told us, or God reminds us, that we should take care and do our best in our life, because everybody one day will return to where we came from. And that's part of life. And if you don't make the effort to break down boundaries now and plant the seeds for your success, you will not be remembered as successful. You will not be judged as successful. You need to get on the first page of Google. You need to open new locations on new e-commerce platforms. You need to launch new products, new services, and new ideas on a regular basis. You need to be involved. You need to kick down your external boundaries and get known in more platforms, in more parts of the world, in more market. Conduct more product seminars on Facebook, webinars. You need to push yourself to the limit. Let's look at an example of a short-term goal. Companies can use short-term business goals to increase profits, implement new policies or initiatives, or even improve their own company culture. And more importantly, achieve their long-term business goals, because without these short-term goals, there will still be boundaries, internal and external boundaries, which will lead to failure. Okay, if I want to increase our market share as a business internationally, okay, this is a short-term goal. When businesses or companies increase their market share, they increase the percentage of their target audience who chooses or has access to choosing their product. This is a good short-term goal for companies that have long-term expansion. Now, in order to increase your market share, you again have to kick down the boundaries of internal boundaries, kick down the bricks caused by external boundaries. Example, a local retail business might want to draw new customers from the local community. The business sets a goal of increasing the average number of customers who enter its store from 500 to 600 per week within 3 months. That means they have to become active, do demonstrations, invite people for special appearance guests or special shopping nights. They have to maximize or unleash their potential with new ideas for that to happen. It can meet this goal by launching local advertising, initiating reducing prices, initiating roadshows, initiating discounts, initiating one-for-one deals, taking the initiative, all right? Or expanding its presence on local social media groups, which is usually the first step. But to do that, you need to break down your external barriers so that you go to a wider potential customer base. All right, let's look at this. Framework: smart, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound. It is positive because it is manageable, easy to measure, good for focusing attention. The negatives of having a SMART goal framework is it's inflexible and prescriptive, but that's what you want. Because if it's not if it's inflexible, means that you will get it done. If it's flexible, it will mean that you keep procrastinating and delaying and it will become a dream and you will for always be a failure. It is narrow focused because you need to focus on achieving one goal at a time. If you focus on too many, you'll never achieve anything. You'll always be a failure. It doesn't measure growth. Well, it does, because when you set a SMART goal, you must achieve that goal in order for you to have completed it. It does measure your growth, because every goal you set will go towards growing your business, and that growth will be shown in productivity and revenue. Not optimal for long-term goal setting. It is optimal. It may not be optimal when you do it, but after you actually set goals and fix all the boundaries that you're facing, all the roadblocks that you're facing, at the end of the day, once all of those fixed, it will become a gate to optimizing your success. Now, we say SMART goals, which are the easiest form to use. There is another method called objectives and key results, OKRs. They're exactly the same, but for you, as a starting point, setting SMART goals is a much easier starting platform. All right. So, management by objectives. You have to lead by example. You have to set examples. You have to be hands-on. You have to break down that internal barrier that says, I don't need to do more. This is enough. Big, hairy, audacious goals. Well, you know what? Some people might tell you that having big, hairy, audacious goals is bad. Well, I hate to correct them. Having big, hairy, audacious goals is the best motivation you should have. And if you don't have them, you better create them. Steve Jobs had big, hairy, audacious goals. That's why you have Apple Watches, Apple Macintosh computers. That's why you have one of the most successful smartphones in the world, the iPhone. All right. KRA's, key result areas. Well, any business you go into, once you have SMART goals, as a result of SMART goals, you will need to set key result areas to measure the outcome of your SMART goals. Ladies and gentlemen, these are not fiction. These are real. These are reality. It's not fiction. It's not non-fiction. These are reality. These are things that have to happen. These are not things that are written in books. These are things you need to wake up to if you want to push your boundary. SMART goals. SMART goals must be specific. They must be measurable. They must be measurable. They must be achievable. They must be relevant, and they must be time-bound. So let's go back and remember that whether you're talking about managing by objectives, whether you're talking about key result areas, or whether you're talking about OKRs or SMART goals, they all require specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound behavior. That goes for all of them. Otherwise, you will forever remain a failure. Thank you. Okay, let's go on. So the first step for you to break down your boundaries is to define your goal, implement tiny steps, measure your results, change and adapt, define another goal, and continue till you become successful, not only in your eyes, but in the eyes of your peers and the world, the market. Because if you're only successful in your eyes, then it means you don't understand the meaning of success. 5 keys to success, ladies and gentlemen. They are confidence. Confidence requires that young people not be overly concerned with what others think if they make a mistake. It requires persistence, organization, getting along with people, and having emotional resilience. All of these are important if you're going to kick down your personal barriers or your internal barriers and your external barriers. For this, you need to be eccentric, not eccentric means you need to be open. You need to be ready to deal with people. Eccentric. If you're intrinsic, it means you like to keep to yourself. An intrinsic way will make you fail. If you are to become successful, you have to have an eccentric mindset, not an intrinsic mindset. Intrinsic means you like to stick to yourself. You like to keep everything to yourself. Eccentric mindset means you're open to sharing with others. Eccentric describes the behavior itself. An eccentric mindset is a mindset where you go out. It's a mindset where you think beyond your limits, beyond the norm. If you're an intrinsic person, you work to yourself. If you're an extrinsic person, you go outside, all right? So in order to be eccentric, you must be somebody who's prepared to go outside the norm. You have to be creative, think of ways to change things that no one else has ever thought of. Example, a 50-year-old punk rocker has an eccentric appearance compared to his or her peers. A 50-year-old punk rocker has an eccentric appearance. That means a 50-year-old shouldn't have pink hair. He shouldn't have tattoos and earrings. But when he is dressed like that, people are going to notice him because he's different to everybody else who's 50 years old. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Yes or no? Wave your hands. All right. Without breaking norms, one may not be able to break down the barriers. You might not be able to overcome your internal boundaries and external boundaries. Protests are more effective when coalitions are built across different groups and the protests and problems are widespread and well known. So once you are able to realize that it's okay to make a mistake and be able to share these problems with people who can help you or with industry, you will then be able to learn how to solve them. The more mistakes you make and the more you are able to accept help or feedback, the more successful you will be. Social norms and their link to social changes is a logical connection. And that's what I mean. Going from the internal boundaries, you need to also break down the external boundaries. You cannot go to breaking down external boundaries unless you've broken down your internal boundaries. Hold on, guys. Okay, so we talked about eccentric minded people. We talked about the example of the 50-year-old punk rocker. We talked about without breaking norms, one may not be able to solve problems. And we said that unless you break down your internal boundaries, you can never break down your external boundaries. Okay, let's ask, Have you ever altered the way you act in public because you felt you had to behave in a certain way? If the answer is no, you're not eccentric. What happens when you don't act the way people expect you to behave? Then you get upset because you think that you should care about what people expect. That's wrong. Don't care about what others think. Care about what is going to make you successful. Do you expect others to act according to certain expectations depending on their age, occupation, or relationship to you? Well, people expect it because that's the norm. And the only way you're going to learn how to be successful is by adapting and going beyond the norm. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Can you wave your hands? Wave your hands, please. Wave your hands, please. Cheryl, Darlene, Mika. Unless you switch on your cameras, guys, there's a highly known chance that you won't be getting a certificate. I've warned you so many times. Every time you switch off your camera, your chances of getting a certificate goes down the drain. The rule for this session is your camera must be on all the time. Otherwise, how can I sign a certificate that you've learned anything? Please switch on your camera. Otherwise, there is no guarantee that you'll get a certificate. Please. Do you understand that, Mika? Do you understand that, Mika? Yes or no? Very good. Do you understand that, Cheryl? Wave your hand, Cheryl. Wave your hand, Cheryl. Cheryl May, wave your hand. Thank you. All right, let's look at this. Preconditions of success. Individual factors are you must be extrinsic instead of intrinsic. You must, well, let me go first. Let me explain that in simple terms. You must have a sense of intrinsic motivation. You must be able to motivate yourself. You have to have a profound level of confidence, a high level of steady performance. You should never say that's enough. And you should have a positive mindset to learn from your mistakes. By having this, you will create opportunities, okay? And if you're not somebody who's prepared to go outside their limit or beyond what they think is their maximum, you will be setting yourself limited expectations. Activities of success within the individual context. You need to start using one's strength. You need to seize opportunities, pursuing personal development, and this means becoming an extrinsic person and being able to go outside the norm and show your sense of eccentricity or being eccentric. Consequences of success, you will be more positive towards yourself and you'll have a greater sense of meaning and purpose in life. And you will also feel the benefits of success by seeing the business grow or seeing your career advance in the company you're working for. Personal identity. A personal identity is the collection of unique factors that make you remembered. And as I said, for you to be remembered, you will only be remembered for things you've done well. Steve Jobs created the iPhone, he was remembered. Your personal identity is unique to you because no one else has the exact same mix of features, memories, habits, emotional dispositions, knowledge that you have. That's why you need to be one of a kind. You need to be eccentric. Examples. Key examples of personal identities include your personality, your tastes, your achievements, your gender, your ethnicity, your nationality, your social status, your social class, your beliefs, your values, and your cultures. Combined, these features make us all unique individuals. And all you need to add is a sense of thinking out of the box or eccentric thinking where you're not trying to copy what somebody else did. You're thinking of a better way to do it. Failure, ladies and gentlemen, is not the opposite of success. In real terms, it's part of success. This mindset shift of stop thinking that failure is bad. Once you're prepared to open and break down that internal boundary and accept that failure is your road to success, that's when you will be on a path of success. It's about embracing, learning from your mistakes, and using those lessons to fuel your eccentricity or your eccentric thinking for future behavior. All right, so let's go through these. In order to unlock your potential, the first thing you have to do is look in the mirror tonight, identify your strengths, weaknesses, passions, and values. You need to set clear goals. You need to develop a growth mindset where you go from being intrinsic to being extrinsic. You need to be prepared to embrace challenges, learn from failures, and believe in your ability to grow. You need to build your own sense of confidence, and you can only do that as you break down internal and external boundaries. You need to take calculated risks without the fear of failure, because remember, failure means success. You need to seek support by breaking down those external boundaries and making yourself like-minded, being able to listen and respect what other industry mentors and the market tells you. All of these require you to break down, kick down, knock down, smash down the internal barriers and the external barriers. You need to practice resilience. You need to stay curious. You need to be eccentric and continuously ask why. 5 whys every time. Focus on progress and stay committed. Remember, unlocking your potential is a journey, not a destination. It requires your effort, because without your effort, you will never unlock or unleash your potential. To unleash your potential, you need effort, you need patience, and you need persistence. You need to be eccentric, and you need to go from an intrinsic personality to an outgoing extrinsic personality. Ladies and gentlemen, all of you can break down the barriers. All of you can be successful. However, it's simply something that you need to make an effort towards. It's not something that anybody can do for you. It's something that you need to do for yourself. I would love to take some questions. Who would like to talk to me? Okay, who would like to talk to me? Just hold on, everyone. Okay, who would like to talk to me? Can you wave your hand? Let's talk. I love talking, as my co-host, Miss Anu will tell you. Anu, does Wally like talking, Anu? Do I love talking? Yes or no? Wave your hand. Do I love talking? Okay, does everybody love watching me talk or listening to me? Yes or no? Very good, thank you. Thank you, Ella. Ella's one of our regular students, Anu. She's here every time. Thank you, Ria. Ria's a regular too. Islam, would you like to talk to me, Islam? Unmute your microphone, Mr. Islam. No? All right, great, Islam. Okay, who would like to ask me a question? Let's start with Mary. Mary Rose. Mary Rose Faliha, are you there, Mary Rose? Would you like to talk to me? Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Mary Rose, first. Okay, Mary Rose, let me know if you want to speak to me, all right? Okay, let's go to Jennifer. Hi, Jennifer, would you like to talk to me? Hi, Jennifer. Hi, unmute your microphone, Jennifer. How did you enjoy today's session, Jennifer?
Saya, personal development is very important for us as an individual because find our future. And in this topic, sir, I thought that I got, yeah, thank you so much for sharing all the knowledge.
Thank you. I look forward to seeing you at BizTalk 129. And remember, your future is in your hands. If you don't pull your hands out of your pockets, or as they say, proverbially, don't get offended by me. I apologize. Pull your fingers out of your asses. Get off your lazy bums and make an effort to be successful. You will never know success. All of you need to have a hunger for success like Jennifer. Jennifer asks herself every day from the day she started coming to my BizTalk, what can I do to be better at my job? Am I right, Jennifer?
Yes, sir.
Keep on doing it, Jennifer. I'm so proud of you. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you. All right, let's go to someone else. Who else would like to talk to me? Okay, let's go to, I'm going one by one, guys, so give me a minute. Can I go to Pon Kion? Can you open your microphone? Yeah, go ahead. Would you like to talk to me, please? Unmute your microphone. Convection. Hi, can you unmute your microphone? I'm sorry, your name is in Russian. Could you change it to English? I don't understand your name, ma'am. You put up your hand, you want to talk to me. Would you like to open your microphone? Yes, go ahead. Hi.
Hi, sir.
You go ahead. Welcome to BizTalk. How can I help you?
How can we, oh,
How can we what? Can you repeat your question? How can we what? How can you get married? How can you find a boyfriend or what? Well, okay, well, can you ask that question once more so everybody can hear you? How can you what?
how can break language?
Okay, well, that's something that you can do if you set your mind to it. Nothing is impossible in life. And I think I need to remind you all, you need to believe in yourself. If you can believe in yourself, you can break your laziness. If you want to get married, you'll find a boyfriend. If you hate your boyfriend, you'll dump him and find a new one. If you want a Louis Vuitton bag, you'll find a boyfriend who can afford to buy you one. Can you switch on your camera, please? I'm explaining to you. Please, on your camera while I'm talking to you. It is disrespectful. Please respect me. I'm talking to you, okay? Now, in order to break laziness, it means you have to believe in yourself. The reason why people are lazy is because they always say, I can't, I don't know how. That's the reason for laziness. If you wake up every morning and you set yourself clear goals and make an effort to achieve them, or you message me via WhatsApp and say, Mr. Wally, these are my goals for today, but I don't have the motivation, I will help you. But if you're not even prepared to try, that means you're living in a dream. You want you not being able to stop being lazy. It's about you not wanting to change because you're too comfortable. Your parents give you, feed you, your husband works, or you think that living in poverty for $300 a month is enough. It's not. You're living in poverty. And the only reason you're all living in poverty is because you choose to be lazy. Laziness is a self-made disease. It's not something you're born with. Laziness is your own disease. You bring it to yourself. Am I right or wrong? Do you agree with me, Anu? Can you wave, Anu? Do you agree? Wave to me, Anu. Everybody that thinks laziness is a self-inflicted disease, wave. Come on, wave. Everybody wave. Do you think God makes us lazy? God encourages us to live our life to the full. God encourages us to actually be what we want to be in life. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have to leave for work, please do. Thank you for joining me for this talk number 228. I look forward to seeing you next time. But please stay and I'll answer your questions if you don't have to go to work. Lazy is you not wanting to improve. So I say to you again, young lady, please switch on your camera while I'm talking, that yes, you can overcome laziness. To overcome laziness, you need to believe in yourself. You need to start setting yourself goals. And if you need my help, you can WhatsApp me directly. Miss Anu, oh, I better still, I'll put my mobile number in the chat box. Anybody can set, Miss Anu, can you put my mobile number in the chat box in that Zoom room for everyone? Okay, put it in the chat box for all of them. And for the screen here, I will put my +65 822 WhatsApp number in the chat box. 1 moment, please. And anybody can message me at this number if you have a question on how to motivate yourself or any questions about today's session. Once again, my number is +65 822 5220. All you need to do, ladies and gentlemen, is put your name, say, I attended this talk number 228. Mr. Wally, I have a question. Okay, I would be delighted to help you. Ladies and gentlemen, is there anybody else that would like to ask me a question today? Thank you, Joshua. Thank you for your compliments, sir. Okay, Sherry Ann, would you like to talk to me, Sherry Ann? No? Okay. Now he Baluk too. Would you like to talk to me? Thank you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, for myself, thank you very much for attending this talk number 228. It's been my absolute pleasure. And I hope that you learned something from me, telling you that everything about being successful is in your own hands. It's not in God's hands. It's not up to your mother and father. Stop blaming your government for not making you rich. Stop looking at the ceiling saying, God, help me. Why am I living in poverty? It's no one's fault. It's your fault. You choose to be that way. Ladies and gentlemen, I cleaned toilets at McDonald's when I was 19 years old. So I had enough money to buy food so I could go to university. I used to clean toilets. My first job after 3 years at university paid me a 12,500 Australian dollar salary because I believed in myself. I had the blood to push my boundary. I wanted to push my potential to the maximum. Does everybody understand that? Yes or no? Wave your hands if you understand. Everyone now, I want to see your hands. Show me that you've learned something now. Thank you.